Okay, so at this stage, then we have entered all of kind of our typical transactions, and it's about looking at kind of, I suppose, the reports and making sense of what it's actually showing us. So to do that, we go down here to transactions. And from there, we can run an audit trail report. So you see all of the transactions that we entered in the course of doing our business. So if there's something that's not right, so see there, that's our initial opening capital, and you can see the nominal there for capital. If something's not right, you've charged VAT on something that you shouldn't have, or you've charged the wrong rate of VAT, you can go in here to any of these transactions and edit, and you can edit again and make changes to the likes of the nominal code, the details, the amounts, or the tax codes. But use it cautiously, okay? You don't want to kind of be going in here and messing. The audit trail report is something that you should run. You can preview it, and like I would say, run a brief version of it is fine. Um, and that's fine. It just says you're running from this date to that date, and that's grand. And it'll run, and you can see here all of the bits and pieces that were entered. Okay, so it just gives a good description. In terms of for the assignment, you should export these if they'll let you to a folder and save them down on your desktop, and then we'll sort out putting them up on Moodle, but at least save them as PDFs. If you can't save it as a PDF, please print it off. At least have some record of finding and running the reports. So the transactions report is very useful, and you can run that throughout if you've made a mistake or something's not working out the way you want it to. In terms then of our trial balance, you can go into nominal codes and you'll see trial balance here. Again, you can preview it, so just click run and OK. And this is our trial balance. So you see it will balance, it will always balance. Just you're watching out for 9998 here. If you see that, it means that a nominal code wasn't entered. But it's showing us our debtors, it's showing us what's making up our bank account. Now, if I click on any of those, so if I click on the debtors account, it brings me to this, showing me within my nominal account. So I can see all of the sales that I made, and then I can see the money that came in. So if I hadn't booked one of the cash sales, it would be showing here. If I hadn't allocated that credit note properly, it would be showing here. Okay. So nominal codes and trial balance. Preview and run. Okay. So again, print it or export it, depending, ideally export it, but if you can't, please print it. Now you'll see there's a difference in the way that Sage shows VAT versus the way we showed it on the manual. So on the manual, we would have just put in one amount for VAT, and it was either a debit or a credit. Sage shows the sales tax as a credit here, and it shows the purchases tax as a debit. So if you're comparing a manual trial balance to Sage trial balance, your overall total will be different because of the way Sage displays VAT. So don't get worried that you're not getting the same as your manual. 99% of your figures will be the same. It will be the VAT figures that will be different. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to close out of here. Other reports that you will be interested in looking at is your VAT report. So if I click on VAT and I click VAT return, it asks me what period am I running it for. So I'm running it for September. So I just can say calculate my VAT returns. It tells me that there were 13 transactions found, and that's okay. And it's telling me that my VAT on sales was 2858, my VAT on purchases was 4672, the net repayable, so revenue only 1814, and that's fine. I can say reconcile my VAT return. It says that's fine. Do you wish to continue? I say yes. It then prepares a VAT return for me that I can print. VAT return, again, I can preview it and just click run, and I get a VAT return that shows that information for me. And again, I can export it and save it to Word, or save it to the computer. Okay, I can say close here, and I can see my VAT return is now showing as I'm owed 1814 from revenue. There are reports available under each module. So under customers, we can go up here to reports. And if I want to see what are my debtors, I can go in here, and now not all of them are going to be useful reports, but I can look at my age debtor analysis and just preview it. And okay. And it shows me that these invoices are outstanding. So this is the makeup of my debtors figure. It was these two sales invoices. He still owes this amount for that invoice, and he owes this amount for that invoice. Okay, so that's where when we were paying into our bank account, we were allocating it against a particular invoice, and this is then showing of the total amount of the invoice, this is how much he still owes on it. Okay, so within each of your modules, customers and suppliers, find a report that you like the look of. So whether it's age creditors, again, just find the report, click on the little print icon, and you'll see it there, and just print it off or export it out to a PDF. Okay. So they are typically our reports that we're going to use on a regular basis. The last thing that I just want to look at is the bank reconciliation. So to do that, we go into bank accounts and reconcile. Now again, just make sure that the 1200 is highlighted and choose reconcile. We would get a bank statement from our bank, and it would have an ending balance on it. So we would pop in whatever the ending balance that's on the bank statement. If there was any interest earned during the month or the quarter, we could pop it in there and say it was X amount, and tell the computer what nominal code we wanted to book that interest against. And the same with account charges. If there's any bank fees or charges, stamp duty or anything like that, we would put in the amount and the nominal code that we wanted to go against. Okay, now you see the VAT code is here, so if there's not going to be any VAT charged on these, we can just make sure that these are T9 or whatever. Okay, and then it brings us into the bank reconciliation. And whatever your end balance per your bank statement is will be up here, and you're just going to find an item that is on both. So if it's on your bank statement and it's on the computer, you'll say match. If it's here, match. If it's not, you leave it. Okay, and there will always be things that won't, that might be on both, but your idea is to get your difference down to 0. And that difference will get down to 0 when you have matched things off and when you have still got things up here on the top. So don't worry that not everything is matching off. If you put something down here that you shouldn't have put down, you just click unmatch. Okay. Now, you can only reconcile when you're at 0. You can always save your progress somewhere along the lines. So if you've forgotten to put in something like bank fees or charges, you can come out of here, save progress, and go subsequently and enter them. Okay, or you can close, and that won't save anything. Okay, so I'm just going to say close. It says you've made changes. Would you like to save your changes and continue later? Discard the changes you've made. So I'm just going to discard. Okay, so bank reconciliation, I'll do another video on that when we are actually doing it in class and we have proper example to show you. Okay, but they're typically the main bits and pieces that you're going to use. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to stop recording.